What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another video. And yes, I've been talking a lot, tweeting a lot, podcasting a lot, all about Xbox E3 and predictions, but now the floor is mine. I get to just express what I want and what I think we're going to see. I'm not going to chop this video up with any sort of gameplay or any interesting music sounds. I'm just not that creative, or I'm just too lazy for that. But I will show off my slightly too small Xbox t-shirt and the cap that everybody made fun of on Twitter. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I'm an happy Xbox fan, and we're going to talk about the Xbox Series X and what we can expect from Team Xbox and Bethesda at E3. Now, clear my throat. A lot of people keep thinking that this Xbox Bethesda show is going to be like a 2-in-1 sort of show. One part Bethesda, one part Xbox, vice versa. No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be like your standard Xbox show. The difference is, reason why you got Bethesda in the name, because it's out of respect. It's for goodwill, fanfare. It's a big celebration. Xbox has acquired ZeniMax, and Bethesda is a big publisher in themselves. So yeah, we're going to get an Xbox show with some games with some guaranteed Bethesda games that will be showing up. But nonetheless, this is a 90-minute Xbox show, and we're going to talk about what we expect to see. Now, I'm not going to lower your expectations because you shouldn't have low expectations. Regardless, rumor has it that Avowed and Hellblade 2 and Perfect Dark and all that stuff's not going to be there. We'll get to that. But how will they open the show this time? Me personally, I think Halo Infinite opens the show once again, and they do it to immediately address the Craig situation. So yes, I think the gameplay we will see at E3 will be campaign. Well, at least it better be. Another location, another demo, show off the graphical improvements. It won't be as long as a demo if we gotten last year. And then I think they, then transition to the new multiplayer mode and how multiplayer throughout the game will be handled. I don't think we're going to be seeing red versus blue scenario. I think it's more going to be Spartan based. That's why the little poster that we've seen on Twitter for their E3 show isn't just Master Chief. It's a bunch of different Spartans. Matter of fact, I think all those Spartans are from Halo Reach, and I think that's really the focus of multiplayer, is that people will have these individual Spartans to go with a lot versus this red versus blue, or this color coordination sort of multiplayer. But we should learn more. I think we do get a release date for sure. I think the game, honestly, will come in the anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved, so November 15th. But others believe there's a September, and I can't think of what else they would do for the month of November that would make up for that. I guess there's another thing they could potentially do. But I'm going to say November 15th. For Halo Infinite, and I think it's going to look awesome. I think a lot of us will be impressed, and I can't wait to play this game. Now, what else are they going to show? What else is going to take place? I think Psychonauts 2 will impress us a great deal. I'm talking visually. It's going to look great. The gameplay is going to look smooth, and it's going to be a looker enough. It's going to be another showpiece for the Xbox Series X. Just more so coming soon. I have Psychonauts launching sometime mid-August, and it will be touting, 4K, 60 frames per second, maybe ray tracing, or our special favorite mode, 120 frames per second on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. This will be Game Pass day one. It will be available on Xbox One, Xbox Series, and of course PC. They're not going to mention PS4, even though it will be available on the PS4, but they will push that this game is an Xbox game, and rightfully so, because I think they have a platformer on their hands, and I think it's going to show up very, very well at E3, and finally with a release date. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Playground, and people are bummed out about Fable possibly not being there. Fable may or may not be there. I got a feeling Xbox will address some of the games that they showed that they showed over the course of the year and whatnot that people want answers for, and I think they will do it somewhere. But the focus for a Playground this time around is going to be Forza Horizon 5. I think Forza Horizon 5 is going to be the showpiece. We're going to be giving this game relatively soon. We're going to get an amazing demo. I would like to guess a car, but I'm not going to do that. And the game is going to be launching the first week of September. I have between September 3rd and I think September 7th. I think it's the release date. That I think they would be launching this game, and I also do think we get a early preview of Turn 10's racing game slated for 2022, which is Forza Motorsport. Will be the 8th game, but I don't think they're going to call it that. But we do see Forza Motorsport as well from Turn 10, and I think that's also due out in 2022. Microsoft owns a lot of studios. I think Bethesda is going to be there in a big way, of course, with about maybe 4 games. And those 4 games, I assume, are obviously Starfield, which I believe will close the show with a impressive demo. We will get the Todd Howard style walkthrough if this game is releasing anywhere between October of 2021 or March of 2022. If it's within that window, we will get a decent gameplay demonstration of Starfield. If not, if we don't get that gameplay demonstration of Starfield, that means the game is probably late 2022 or early 2023. But I think either way they will give us, and if they just say 2022, that means it's late 2022, and with the potential of being pushed back to 2023. That's my safe bet. But I feel like if we do get that typical Todd Howard gameplay, it's going to be a relatively soon release between October 2021 and March of 2022. I do also think Machine Games shows up with 2 games, Indiana Jones and Wolfenstein 3. Indiana Jones a little bit further out, but I think Wolfenstein 3 does make an appearance and probably slated for 2022. Obviously, we got Arcane Studios. We know one of their studios is working on Deathloop for PlayStation. That might be a surprise announcement for Xbox Game Pass PC as well, in some degree. Same thing with Ghostwire Tokyo. Not sure if they'll be brought up at the show, but I think between E3 and Summer's Games Fest, those games will be confirmed for Xbox Game Pass for the PC day and date, as well as the PS5 release versions of those games. So don't be surprised if that happens. But the other Arcane studio, the one that's not shipping out games for PlayStation, will be showing off their new IP called Project Omen, and this is the vampire game that everybody's talking about. We have Miles Dompierre on Planet Xbox. His guess is this is a first-person, pretty much single-player game. And if you play games like, obviously, you know, Dishonored and Prey, you know what to expect. I'm curious to see what they're doing in this in a universe full of vampires, but I think they can pull it off, and I think this is actually a spring 2022 game, and it's fairly soon. There's some other project games. Remember the game Project Dragon by IO Interactive? They're working on a game with Xbox, and we don't know what that game is. That game is further down the line, but I think Xbox could get away with a CGI trailer. They did it all last year for their new games that they announced. They're going to be showing a lot of gameplay this year. Book it. But I do think we get Project Dragon, the IO Interactive game, demonstrated as a CGI for Xbox, showing a bunch of dragons, a bunch of fire, and a bunch of castles, and it's going to look awesome. None of it's going to be gameplay, but I think it shows up along with the other project game, Project Typhoon, that's been teased and tweeted by Jez Corden a bunch of times. Now, this game is relatively soon. A lot of people have been trying to hint at the studio that's doing it, or hint at the type of game, but people, they want to talk about it, but they want to have respect for the developers of whatnot, of who's doing this game. Basically, there's a studio that's making this game. We don't know who, so we find out IO's doing Project Dragon. So who's doing this game? It could be Asobo, it could be freaking Ubisoft studio. I don't freaking know, but I can tell you this: Xbox is rumored to acquired 2 studios. And that will be announced at this year's E3. And I believe both the project games are with the acquisition. I feel like IO Interactive will be acquired by Xbox, and this is going to be their debut show game for them. And I believe we will see the Project Typhoon game. We'll see some gameplay of that, and Xbox will welcome them to the family either before showing off the game or after showing off the game. And whoever's responsible for Project Typhoon, their current games that they do have available on Xbox will find its way to Xbox Game Pass shortly after, if they're not already in Game Pass, and probably have a Shadow FPS boost update to their select games. So I have people say 2 studios being purchased. Those 2 studios, I think IO Interactive, and then whichever studio is doing Project Typhoon. And there's rumors of Crytek being purchased. That's realistic. I can see that happening. If they are, Xbox needs to hurry up so they can make the Crysis Remastered games exclusive, and they need to secure that Rise Son of Rome 2 sequel that they're supposedly in development. So we'll see if that happens. Looks like Xbox is trying to acquire the IP, and Crytek in the process. I'm not sure if it's really worth it if we're happening, but I do think we'll get at least 2 acquisitions. I believe it's IO Interactive and whatever studio is making Project Typhoon, and we will get some Game Pass goodies and some FPS boost updates for their existing games on Xbox. Now, what are we missing? Some drop the mic moments. I think studio acquisitions could be, drop the mic depending on who it is. Like Bethesda was a drop the mic, Ninja Theory's drop the mic, and all that stuff. That was all good. We know Obsidian's gonna be there. Drop the mic. I say Kojima's is confirmed to be at Summer's Game Fest. Will it be a drop the mic if Xbox, acquired Kojima Productions, or sign him off on a game to work on an exclusive? Maybe they do that. Maybe they tease it there and then they show something at Summer's Game Fest, furthering that partnership. I don't know. I know Kojima is going to be at Summer's Games Fest, and he's rumored to be working with Xbox. We shall see. But I think Ubisoft is going to be back in Xbox in a big way. And their drop the mic moment will be Uplay on Game Pass. And I think the little perk of that, I think we might get not only just existing Ubisoft games on Xbox, the previous catalog, and the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I do believe we will be getting games like Far Cry 6 in Game Pass day one. With that partnership, I do think the new Ubisoft game, which will feature Sam Fisher, the whole Ghost Recon matchup, that whatever they're doing, I do believe that will be an Xbox exclusive game in partnership with Ubisoft, and that would also be a wonderful drop the mic moment. Now, I would rather it be Xbox and Ubisoft partnering up to revisit and reimagine Splinter Cell Chaos Theory as exclusive to Xbox. That's still a possibility. I do think something related to Splinter Cell and Ubisoft and Xbox is connected and destined to show up at Xbox E3 Showcase. Now to these, there's going to be some sort of hardware update. Is it the Xbox Elite 3? No. But Xbox Series X are now rolling out in server blades, and xCloud will be updated this fall to Xbox Series pretty much content. So I think one of the big announcements, and maybe this happens on the anniversary of the Xbox, is xCloud being updated to next gen hardware. I think that happens this year, and I think we get that update fairly soon. Game Pass editions. I do think we get big games in Game Pass and confirmations. So a lot. I think they said Bandai came out to confirm that Scarlet Nexus won't be in Game Pass. I'm not so sure about that. I'm still interested in the game. I still got it in my cart just in case the news doesn't happen, but I still think something like Scarlet Nexus does get confirmed for Game Pass at E3, along with games like Back for Blood, Battlefield 6, Far Cry 6, as I said before. I think those would be some major drops. Tales of Arise. I think Life is Strange, True Colors will be all confirmed for Game Pass. And the next Dragon Quest may appear at Xbox, and it may be slated for Xbox. Persona 4, Persona 5 will get, I think Atlas shows up or Sega shows up to Xbox with a montage of Persona games that they will be bringing to Xbox Game Pass. Now, they all won't release at the same time. They will be Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 I think it's, what's the one, Royale, Persona 5 Royale, and Persona 5 Strikers. Those will be the first 3 Persona games to make their way to Game Pass. I think Persona 4 goes first, and then Persona 5 maybe several months down the line. I think by the end of the year, all 3 games will be in Xbox Game Pass. They'll launch day and date in Game Pass at the same time they launch on the Xbox consoles. That was a whole lot. That was a whole lot. So yeah, that's my predictions for Xbox Bethesda. I do think it's gonna turn out to be a bigger show than even what I making it sound. My expectations aren't tempered. I think the games that do show off will show off like great. I think Halo, I think the trio, the trinity of Xbox E3 this year is going to be Halo, Forza, Starfield, and I think Psychonauts is also going to be a big surprise. Because and I think obviously Psychonauts, Halo, and Forza will have to carry the Xbox first party wise as far as their releases this year. But I think there will be some few stealth drops. Like I said, some FPS boost updates. I think Flight Simulator gets stealth dropped. I do think I'm not sure if scoring's big enough to be there, but I do think we get updates on I think scoring probably gets updated sometime in the summer, but it is available. It's going to be available this year. I think Crossfire, we see that again. We'll get a good, nice gameplay demo of Crossfire campaign. Bright Memory is not going to be at E3, but it will be at GameSpot Showcase, and we might get an update on that game. And I think that game is probably going to fall into the 2022 time frame. But there's a whole lot that I'm just missing that off the top of my head. But I think no matter how much one can talk about it, I could go studio by studio by studio, but I'm not going to do that. We have to see it. We have to see it in presentation. There's going to be some surprises. I think we're going to be surprised about a lot of things. But I'm looking forward to the show. It will be taking place this Sunday. I hope you guys join me and the Planet Xbox crew on our live stream, our reaction to this thing. And I'm still trying to get registered for E3. Hopefully I'm accredited. But that is it. That's my video. I'm about to go play or stream some Returnal. But as always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.